Now, the Ghana Statistical Service has once more extended the period for this year's population and housing census. The 2021 population and housing census was scheduled to end on June 28, but was first extended to July 18, and now the latest announcement. According to government statistician Professor Samuel Enim, this extension has become necessary to be able to fully cover some areas in the country where enumerators could not fully reach everyone. He explained that for most parts of the country, the target has been achieved, but there are still places, particularly in the Greater Accra region, where they were only able to capture 94% of the population.
Okay, so I'll take that again. As I indicated in the release, 94% of the expected households have been reached. The census taking was structured in a manner that the first 2 weeks was to give us an assessment of the workload. So we identified all structures, all households, and for that matter, the usual persons that are in those households and institutions. Of those households that we identified during the first 2 weeks of the exercise, 94% of these households have been reached during the enumeration phase of the exercise. So indeed, we have a 6% target that we are working towards. Within this 6%, as I indicated, we have varied reasons why we've not reached out to these 6% of the expected households. These varied reasons range from areas, specifically the Gan West, the Katamanso, the Gan North, the Gan South. As I mentioned, that they are fast-growing areas, and in some of these areas, indeed, even as at yesterday, listing and enumeration were still ongoing. In most of the places, I can say on authority, 99% of the places, listing is completed, and we have a sense of the workload, in which case it's enumeration that is currently ongoing.
Now, Professor Samuel Enim also explained that most of the challenges they faced at the start of the listing and enumeration have been dealt with, but there are still issues with people not willing to cooperate with the census officials.
With the places that we've identified the households, but respondents are unwilling to participate in the census exercise, we can only use persuasion as at this stage. Although the law allows us to pursue prosecution in the event where somebody declines in participating in the census exercise, for this window of the data collection phase, we'll continue to use persuasion. We'll continue to use public education to explore the possibility of getting people to respond to the calls from our enumerators. We are giving ourselves up to the 30th of the month to make up for the 6% that we have left outstanding. We are pretty optimistic that we're going to cover that. But once we share with you the release on the 30th of July 2021, it will be clear to us whether there will be further extension to the data collection exercise or otherwise.
Now, my colleague Kweku Asante joins us by telephone with more. Kweku, can you run us through the specific areas where census officials could not complete their enumeration and have to return?
Right. So according to
Kweku, please reposition yourself. The quality of the connection is very poor. Right. Kweku, are you there? Right. Unfortunately, the phone lines are not very good. Kweku, we will call you back to get that information from you. But in the meantime, Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame is confident that a new Conduct of Public Officers bill to be presented to Parliament will boost the fight against corruption. This bill, he explains, is to strengthen the role of the Commission of Human Rights and Administrative Justice to investigate various matters, including involving public officers. It was laid in the previous Parliament, but was not passed before its expiration of term on January 7, 2021. The AG's office is therefore commencing the entire process again, with the hope that it will eventually receive parliamentary approval. We'll hear from Mr. Dame after the break. You're live on Joy News today. Many thanks for staying with us. Let's now hear from Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame. Right, before we speak to Mr. Damido, let's go on the phone lines and speak to Kweku Asante, who is on standby at the Ghana Statistical Service news conference. Kweku, tell us, first of all, the areas that have not been covered by the Ghana Statistical Service.
Right, Daniel, according to the government statistician, the majority of these 25 districts that have not been fully counted are in the Greater Accra region, Gan West Municipal Assembly, Gan North, Atentio Municipal, Pone, Katamanso, Lejokuku, Tema West, Gan East, Lanquantanan Madina, Ayawaso West Municipal, Sayo Sidoku, Ewudu Senya East, and Krowa Municipal. The rest are Digo Pram Pram, Gogoa East, Wasam, Peace Central, Simon, Central, in Sawam, Gan Central, Gan South, Sapa, and Kapim North, Cape South, and Kapim South. So, Daniel, these 25 districts, majority of them, close to 18, currently in the Greater Accra region, where they've only been able to cover 94%, and they're expecting to cover the 6% using the next period. The government statistician stopped short at saying exactly how long this session is going to take. But he gave a clue. He said that the next meeting of the Ghana Statistical Service and the media will be on the 30th of April. And he expected that by then, they should have completed this mop-up.
So he wasn't clear on when exactly they want to complete the work?
No, he did not say that. What he said is that he's expecting that by 30th, when they meet the press again to offer an update on what they've been able to do in terms of counting, they would have completed the mop-up by then.
Thank you very much, Kweku Asante, for bringing us those updates from that presser.